Hi, I'm Kathy. Welcome back to my homestead. I am preparing for a fall garden. Now, I've never done a fall garden, but I've been inspired from the people out at the San Diego Seed Company. I bought their calendar at the beginning of the year, and it really keeps you on track with what you can grow. I'm in zone 9A, I believe. It changed from 8 to 9 recently. So I have a really long growing season. There's my Steely. Hey, Steely. So we're out in the yard today just looking over the beds and thinking about what I'm going to grow. And that would be me and Steely. So I'm just checking out the beds, coming up with a game plan, and figuring out what I'm going to grow for this fall garden. Again, I've never grown a fall garden, so this is going to be a first for me. But I had a pretty successful season for spring with lettuce, and I really want to grow some lettuce. My garlic that I planted last fall did pretty good, and so did my onions. Or actually, it was shallots. It wasn't onions. My onions really didn't do much. So I'm going to just get things ready, and I'm going to show you the 10 seeds that I'm going to start indoors this week so that I can get them in the ground as transplants after I've had an opportunity to come out and work on the beds. I do need to take down the old plants, throw them in compost, and just amend the soil, add some compost to the soil, and get that ready for a fall garden planting. So I'm going to go inside and show you what I'm going to be growing. All right. So again, I'm going to start my seeds inside. I have a little grow rack station right behind me that I use. I started my tomatoes and all of my seeds for spring back on December 30th, I believe. So I like to get a jump start on things and have things ready to go in the ground as soon as that last frost is over with. One of the things that I really enjoyed growing and was really happy with my harvest was lettuce. So that's on my fall list of things to do. I've got the red sales lettuce from M.I. Gardner. They have fantastic seeds at a really affordable price. Now, on the lettuce seeds, you get a lot of seeds, but as we go through some of these seeds here, you're going to see that you don't get like 150 seeds per pack. You get what a regular person could grow easily in their yard. So if you're looking to start 50, 60, 70 tomato plants, M.I. Gardner is probably going to have 10 to 25 seeds in each packet. But again, if you're like me and you're over 50 and you're homesteading alone and you're just preparing food for yourself, then M.I. Gardner for me works out really good because I don't need 150 to 200 seeds. And even if you had to purchase several packs, the price on their seeds is really good. An heirloom lettuce here is Arctic King. Now I grew this in the spring knowing that it probably needed some cooler weather. So it did bolt on me quickly, but it was a good producer and I really enjoyed that. The Tom Thumb lettuce, I think this and the next one was my favorite lettuce this year. These are just little balls. They kind of look like little cabbages about 3 to 4 inches across. And this says it's an heirloom variety dating back to the 1850s. It was a really good little lettuce. This was one of my other favorites from M.I. Gardner, and you get 1,000 seeds in a lettuce pack, so that's a really good price. This was the Butter Crunch. So I'm going to start that again this fall, and hopefully I'll just do some succession planting, and I'll have lettuce throughout the winter. We don't get too cool down here. We have had some cold freezes the last few years that's lasted, from 3 days to 5 or 6 days. We're just crossing our fingers that we stay really, cool, but not freezing this year. And if we do, I might build some little hoop houses over each of my beds, or maybe even put a high tunnel out there this year. The Marvel of Four Seasons, this was a really good lettuce as well. This had a little peppery taste to it. And again, it's one of those heirloom seeds, so it, if it bolts and you end up with seeds, you can grow those again next year. One that I didn't plant was this romaine lettuce because I just knew that it wasn't going to do anything with our heat. So I'm going to give that a shot this year. The second thing I'm growing this year is going to be broccoli. Now my daughter has requested broccoli and I know that it's a cool weather crop, so we're going to give it a shot. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see, what else have I got? Arugula. One of the girls in the office requested arugula. So I have these seeds from a seed swap. I participate in 2 seed swaps. After the first of the year, they'll start organizing those seed swaps, and I participate in the online seed swaps. That's through Instagram, through a couple of ladies that I follow. And it is amazing because you get so many seeds back that you ordinarily probably wouldn't have bought. So I'm excited to grow some arugula. This is the rocket arugula, and we'll try that this year in the fall garden and see how that does for us. Now I've grown squash, summer squash, but my summer squash is usually subject to powdery mildew. I don't know what causes that, so I'm hopeful that this fall, that maybe because it's cooler I won't be subject to that. Maybe it's because my ground is really soggy back here. I don't know. I don't know what causes the powdery mildew. I'm hoping I can get by without it this year by just doing it in the fall, planting my squash in the fall. So I do have some winter squash. This is a Blue Hubbard winter squash. Again, I got this from a seed swap. I ordinarily probably wouldn't have bought this, but I'm going to try to grow it. And again, when you're in a seed swap, you don't get like hundreds of seeds in a packet. You get 4 or 5, 10 seeds that you can try. And this is a good way to experiment in your garden and try things that you maybe ordinarily wouldn't have bought. And if this is successful and I enjoy it, then I can save the seeds from my harvest and grow this again next year. Another winter squash that I'm going to grow is this Golden Hubbard. So I'm guessing that it's a relative to the Blue Hubbard, and it says that it's best for preserving and roasting. Again, it came from a seed swap, and what I love about these seed swaps is that some people will tell you where this came from. This is from @thefarmandthetable.co on Instagram, and they give notes. It takes 90 to 120 days, and it's best for preserving and roasting. So I'm really looking forward to growing some Golden Hubbard winter squash, maybe making some soups out of it. I like to make tomato soup, and I understand that I can use a winter squash and puree it down and add it to my tomato soup and make it a little more tasty. So that's going to be something I try this year. Costata Romanesco zucchini squash from ancestralskincare.co. This is another seed swap item. I am looking forward to this. I like squash and zucchini, so we'll see if we can get some zucchini squash growing this fall. And yeah, I'm just super excited about this. Again, I've never had a fall garden, but that San Diego Seed Company calendar has really kept me on task with what I need to be preparing for and when and getting in the ground. This is just some seeds that I had. It's a zucchini. It's a Black Beauty zucchini. And then I've got some Ford Hook zucchini here, just standard squash. Normally I would grow this in the summertime. However, in South Alabama, it really does get super hot. And I think I can do really good this fall and take advantage of the cooler weather. Something I wanted to grow in the spring but didn't was this giant winter spinach. And we like to eat quiche. When I say we, I take quiche to the office. I make a few extra quiche to share with friends and family. So a nice spinach and onion quiche is really tasty, especially with some fresh spinach, or maybe adding the spinach to your salad or on top of a pizza. I am happy to see that I'm going to be having some giant winter spinach. I also have spinach seeds from a seed swap and some Bloomsdale spinach from @KellyGreens616 on Instagram. I love these seed swaps. In fact, if you're interested in a seed swap, maybe you could type in seed swap in the comments, and maybe we can start our own seed swap in after the first of the year, and I'll share some of my seeds with you. You can share some of your seeds with me, and I'll send you some details on that. Something else that I tried to grow in the spring and did not work out for me, and I think Brussels sprouts are a beautiful plant. If you've ever seen a Brussels sprout grow, and I've never seen one in person, they are beautiful. I've only seen pictures. They're just absolutely beautiful to see. So I am going to try growing these Groninger Brussels sprouts. This is, and what it says from Baker Seeds, a great place to get heirloom seeds. Ideal choice for first timers. So I'm excited about this one in particular. And then I have the Long Island improved Brussels sprouts that are cold hardy. So if we do get a freeze, these will probably be okay. And it says that these have been an heirloom since the 1890s. So this is an old seed that goes back way back. I'm really hopeful that I'll get something good out of that. One thing I learned from my friend Sandra is that you can overwinter pepper plants, in particular jalapeno plants. And I did overwinter my first jalapeno plant that she gave me. However, I did not protect it during one of those hard freezes that we got down here in South Alabama a few years ago. We stayed under freezing for 5 days straight. That is really out of the ordinary for us. So I did not protect my jalapeno plant and it died. I have not grown another one, but I do know that you can, they will overwinter. So we're going to try some peppers this year. Now I don't have jalapeno peppers here, but I do have a Grand Bell mix. I'm not a big fan of green peppers, but I do like red and yellow, so we're going to see how those work out. I also have a sweet banana pepper. I don't know if these are pepperoncini peppers. I hope they're like a pepperoncini pepper because I like to use them in pot roast, and pot roast is a nice winter meal, nice comfort food. And then I have these hybrid sweet peppers from Johnny Seeds. Now I know that I'm not going to be able to save the seeds from any of these because it is a hybrid, and from what I understand, I'm a novice gardener. I learn everything from YouTube and all the wonderful growers out there on YouTube. Gary, the Rusted Gardener in particular, is one of my favorites to follow. And then Callie Kim out in California. She's probably in a similar zone to us here in South Alabama. I'm hoping that these will overwinter really well. But I've also, again, going back to hybrid seeds, I don't think you can save them and expect the same harvest or crop or even type of pepper that you will get from a seed from a hybrid. So I'll have to remember to not save those seeds. I'm also going to try my hand at some green beans. I have a Kentucky Wonder pole bean. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're sure going to try. And then I have a Bush Blue Lake bean. I really am hoping that this will work out. I like the idea of a bush bean over a pole bean that I have to trellis, but we'll see. I have a pinto bean here from Caitlin Smith, Life on the Farm. Again, another item from a seed swap. Feels like there's probably about 10 or 12 seeds in here, so that'll get me a good start. We'll see if we can get some pinto beans going. This is a cute little packet that came from Sweetie K Joe over on Instagram, and it's an heirloom Little Marvel garden pea. I love her packaging on this. They really went the extra mile, and there's probably a good 8 seeds, 9 seeds in this little packet. And this is just a little garden pea, so I'm going to grow some garden peas this year. And I'm also going to grow some purple hull peas. I hope I can get a pot of purple hull peas out of, a fall garden this year. What's interesting is it's not a pea at all. It's a bean. So we'll grow those, shell them, and make a pot of purple hull peas. I had a really good harvest of tomatoes in the spring, but I'm still going to grow. I'm going to try to grow 2 tomato plants, maybe 4 tomato plants this fall, just to have some that I can just chop up, throw in the freezer, and pull out for spaghetti sauce or pull out for maybe some chili. So I'm going to try this Mariana's Peace tomato. This is from the San Diego Seed Company. And again, I would give her a follow And I would seriously think about checking out that calendar. I'm really happy with the calendar. She gives you a list of things that you can start every year, what's growing and how to grow. And there's QR codes that you can click and watch videos on some of the stuff that she's doing. So I like those people out at the San Diego Seed Company. Again, I think their growing zone is pretty similar to us down here in Alabama. However, I bet they don't have the humidity we have. Not at all. And then the M.I. Gardener, I got these silvery fir tree tomatoes, and there's only 10 tomato seeds in here. So I only need a few to germinate to get going. But again, these are really affordable seed packets, like $2 a packet. And you can always find a coupon code for another 10% off, which is really, really nice. I have a friend that likes cucumbers. I don't like cucumbers, but I'm going to try to grow some this fall. And maybe I'll have some cucumber water. I like cucumber water, and maybe use some on my eyes as a beauty treatment. But we will try to grow a few cucumbers. So those are all the seeds that I'm going to grow inside. I'm going to start those indoors, get those ready over the next, few weeks. While those are growing inside, I'm going to get the beds ready outside by amending them, getting more compost added to the top, and just getting them ready so that the transplants, these seedlings, will be able to go in and have a good start. One of the things I'm going to grow that I cannot start inside are going to be carrots. So again, this is one of those Baker Seed Company heirlooms. This is a famous Japanese Corrado type carrot. It's a sweet carrot with a little fine grain to it, and so I'm really excited to see how that works out. I need these for my pot roast. I actually have carrots growing right now. So I know this is going to take a little while for them to grow, but I always love to have some carrots. And then here's the carrots I have growing right now. I left them outside and the rain got to the packet, so the packet is deteriorating on me, and I've got carrot seeds all over the table here. So I've got more carrot seeds. The other things I'm going to go ahead and get in the ground in the next few weeks after I amend those beds is going to be onions, garlic, and some new potatoes. So I need to find some new potatoes, some organic new potatoes, and try to get those to chit, I think is what they call that, and get some eyes going. So that's on my list of things to do this week, is to find some organic new potatoes and try to get those ready to go in the ground. And then I have some bulbs of garlic and onions that I will go ahead and get in the ground. So I am ready to get started on a fall garden. The temperatures are dropping here in South Alabama. I'm actually able to get out into the yard, and I am looking forward to that. It has been a long, hot summer. I have taken a break from the outside. I have been inside and just chilling. I think this is probably one of the hottest summers I've experienced here. And I'm anxious. I am so anxious to get my hands back in the dirt. There's just something healing about playing in the dirt, having your feet on the ground, and connecting with nature. So I thank you so much for joining me today. Please do give me a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, thank you in advance for doing that. I'll see you next time.